Alright, so a couple months back, somehow I managed to lose my Garmin watch. It was a Garmin Sapphire 6 something, but basically it was my daily driver. I took it to work, took it to the gym, I took it to the park, took it on trails, everything and everywhere that I went, I had that watch with me. So for about 8 months now, I haven't been wearing anything, and as a result of that, I've actually slacked up on my running. You know, I used to run a lot. I got kind of used to looking at all my data and my stats from my runs, but ever since I lost my watch, I kind of slacked up on it. And I've lost my watch plenty of times in the past, but somehow it always managed to just pop back up after a couple days. But this time it did not come back up at all. And I thought about getting another one, but I really didn't feel like dropping $700 on another Garmin and it pops back up, you know, that then I would have two Garmins. And the Garmin Fenix 6 is by far the best smartwatch that I've ever owned. I could get over 20 days of battery life on it. It was extremely durable. I've dropped it, banged it up against things. I'm a diesel mechanic, so I work on trucks and I get rough just about every day at work, and I've never put one nick, scratch, or mark around the bezel or the screen. And another thing that I liked about this watch is that even when traveling through the mountains in Colorado or in the middle of the state park forest in Louisiana, you always have satellite GPS. No matter where I was, I could see my surroundings and my way back to my start point. And the same thing can't be said about Apple Watches until they release the Apple Watch Ultra. And I've had Apple Watches in the past. My number one issue with the normal Apple Watch is the battery life. Like, you'd be lucky to get 1 full day of battery life out of the normal Apple Watch. And my number two complaint is that they are super fragile. Like, super fragile. My last Apple Watch, I had it sitting in the wall locker. I grabbed the shirt out of it at the gym and it fell from maybe 3 feet from the ground, but when I picked it up, it looked like someone had threw it against the wall. Like, it was completely shattered, and that was the last time I had an Apple Watch. So a couple weeks ago, I'm searching online and I'm looking for a new smartwatch to replace my Garmin because, you know, as we all know, summertime is fast approaching, and you know, you kind of get that itch to get back in the gym and get back on your fitness grind, you know. And as I'm searching, I managed to come across the Apple Watch Ultra. Now, I didn't know that Apple released this last year. I had no idea. I've never heard of the Apple Watch Ultra, hadn't seen anyone wearing it or nothing like that, but they were advertising this as an outside adventurer's watch with a titanium bezel and a sapphire screen, the exact same build as my previous Garmin. And also on top of that, they also were claiming to get at least 3 or 4 days of battery life out of it. Now granted, that's not 20 like the Garmin, but it's definitely better than 1 day. At least I don't have to charge it every night before I go to sleep. So I decided to bite the bullet and I ordered this thing. And the first thing that I noticed while I was unboxing it is the size of it, like the actual bezel size. It's a big size watch and it has some weight to it. Like, it's noticeable. It's not like super heavy, but it's definitely noticeable if you're used to a smaller watch or the regular Apple Watch. Now, the band that you see on it here is a band that I ordered off of Amazon, just a regular cheap Nike band, but it was for the, I believe the Apple Watch 7 with a band size of 41 millimeters, and the Apple Watch Pro has a band size of 45, but Google told me it would fit, so I ordered it because when I ordered this Apple Watch from Apple, they actually sent it with the wrong band. I ordered the Trail Loop and they gave me the Alpine Loop, or vice versa, one of them. But anyway, I didn't want the Velcro strap because I do a lot of stuff at work, and the last thing that I want is for something to grab the Velcro and detach my watch completely. So I had to order this cheap Nike band so I can have better security until I can get my hands on the Alpine Loop. Now, my first day at work wearing this watch, is something about it that makes you not want to be rough with it. Even though Apple advertises it as being super rugged and being really durable, made out of titanium, the sapphire crystal screen, all the bells and whistles, something about it makes you not want to be rough with it still. It is a good looking watch. I'm not sure if that's it or if Apple has programmed us to think of luxury every time we think of Apple. So you kind of hesitate with being kind of careless with it like you would with the Garmin. For some reason, it just doesn't scream durable like the Garmin does. Now, one thing I was impressed with is the fact that if you have oily or greasy or dirty hands or fingers, it does a pretty good job of detecting those inputs on the touchscreen without issue. You can answer calls and things like that when you're too busy or your hands are full or they're just too dirty to touch it. It'll still work. That may not sound like the biggest deal to the average person whose everyday work isn't as messy, but to someone who gets pretty dirty hands on a regular basis, that's a really good plus. I was a little worried about that coming from the Garmin, because on the Garmin you can navigate the entire watch menu from 2 buttons on the side. You don't even need touchscreen, even if it had it. And I believe the Garmin Fenix 7 has touchscreen, but the 6 that I had didn't have touchscreen, and it worked just fine with navigating with the buttons. Now, when I was looking up reviews on the Apple Watch Ultra, a lot of people said that the weight over time throughout the day gets more and more noticeable as it goes on, and that's definitely true. Now, I don't mind the weight because I like my tech products weighty. You know what I mean? It makes it feel more quality. I don't like cheap, plasticky, lightweight feeling things. But after a full day of wearing this, you will most definitely notice the weight. Now, another positive about this watch that I really like is that in direct sunlight, you can see the screen really clear, like way better than the Garmin. Sometimes in direct sunlight with the Garmin Fenix 6 Sapphire, you could barely see what the screen says. But on this watch, you can see it as clear as day, and that's definitely a welcome improvement. Now, I ordered this little snap-on face cover for about $8 from Amazon because I was going to do a review on it, and this may be something that could come in handy if you happen to have a rugged job that day. You could keep something like this in your toolbox and just use it as needed. But as I was popping it on and off in this video, I noticed something strange that we're going to get to in a second. Now, aside from the issue that I'm about to mention, this case did a great job with protecting the watch. It protected it from mud, water, dirt, and I banged on it a couple times and didn't leave any scratches. It didn't affect the case whatsoever. But the issue that I got with it was taking it on and off. For some reason, this case left permanent scratches on the bottom and top of the bezel. Now, I'm no blacksmith, but I don't think that plastic is supposed to be able to scratch titanium. Now, like I said before, the Garmin that I previously had, I've sent that thing to hell and back, and it came back flawless every single time. So I'm not sure what the deal is with this. Now, maybe that's just a finish around the titanium. I don't know if there's 2 different grades of titanium between the Garmin watch and this Apple Watch. I'm really not sure. Maybe someone in the comments could educate me on this and let us know. But that was definitely weird. I didn't expect that at all. But overall, I am happy with this watch, using it every day. I love the battery life. I do like that I can respond to text messages and things like that, things that I couldn't do on the Garmin, so I don't have to keep my phone with me. But that's all I got for y'all today. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you'd like to see more Apple Watch reviews from different perspectives. And until next time, man, peace.